Ready, set. What's going on, guys? Joey Franzo here, Flex Training Systems, and of course the Twitch chat. Today we are going to break down Russ's meet, just like how I normally do my coaches corners. This is it's not an actual official meet. It was an event that was put on just like a meet because there were no meets in the area that Russ liked. He's like, I don't want to travel here. I don't like this location. So why don't I just run my own thing? We'll make it as meet day similar as possible. Obviously he could wear whatever, right? You don't have to wear, um, I'm not gonna force him to wear SBD belt. He could wear Get Better Today. You can just be a little bit more lax with it. He can, you know what I mean? Just make it a little bit more customized to your liking. And I don't even know if these racks are IPF approved, but they look legit. Like everything looks similar. I'm looking at it right now. It's like this looks like a rack you would use in meat. But yeah, I mean it was as meat similar as you can make it. There's judges, there's kilos, there's timing. I know because I was there communicating with him the entire day. Um, and Martha was sending me all his lifts and updates and telling me, okay, he's getting ready for this, okay, he's getting ready for that. So shout out to her. And they even use lifting cast. You could have gone online and looked at it on lifting cast, just like you do with the real meat. So it was the most mock meat you could make a mock meat. Like it was like as much as similar to a meat as you could possibly make it. Um, there are people there. We tried to replicate. He tried to replicate a meat day setting as much as possible, and I truly believe that he was able to do that because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to run a mock before. Um, uh, but like when you do it, hold on one sec. Sorry, I'm waiting for the PS5 today, so we got to make sure we answer every doorbell. Um, yeah, we're just gonna go through the list now. I don't know where I was. We tried to make it as similar as possible. He did not weigh in for this, so things would have been changed slightly. Although I do believe that his opener for last nationals, I had it around this weight anyway, because the plan was always to go around 661, 666, and then jump to 700, and then kind of go from there. Um, but I just want to say something ahead of time. The in me when you're Russ or Keiko or Amanda or anyone that's competing for number one or number two, number three, whatever, we don't care about I don't even care about a PR. I don't care about a PR. I cannot stress that enough. The goal is to win. Will you hit PRs trying to win? In some cases, yes, you will have no choice. You have no choice. You are going to have to PR in order to win sometimes. But the goal when you're one of those people is like to win. So things are going to be different. You're not going to take risks. You're going to do what you have to do to secure the W. If you mess up one time when you're in the classes like the 105 kg class, 84s are getting there, 74s, you know, if Taylor misses one lift, right? Perkins catches him if he goes 9 for 9. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, right? Um, it's the same thing. If Ashton misses a lift, if Bryce misses a lift, Mikey catches him, and that happened at this last national. So you have to understand it's different. Um, and I would coach things differently, and I would do things differently. Here, we're just trying to cap it out. We're trying to leave it all on the platform, hit as much as you possibly can. I gave him options, and I'll kind of go through that, how we communicate going through it. But, um, you know, so like I said, we did everything just like a meet. We talked during the last training day. We set up all the numbers. Russ is very good with communication. I see all his lifts all the time, so I'm like, okay, this is where you're at. These are the numbers we're gonna hit. If you have any objections or any preferences, you need to tell me now. And we're usually always on the same page. You guys gotta understand, this is 3.5 years of working with the same person that you see every single day in one way or another. Um, so we're going to be very like in sync when it comes to stuff like that. Um, and once you get to that point as a lifter with a coach, you're gonna just do things that are not gonna be possible the first year, the first 18 months, the first 2 years. It's just not gonna happen. You're gonna you're gonna reach this level of understanding of each other that's just like it's not tangible. You can't put it on paper. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like, hopefully you get to experience it and go through it one day. So I'll let this play, and then I'm gonna quickly go back to the opener. Now that I got all that out the way. Um, all right. So real quick, boom, 666 opener, like comically fast. I'm honestly just looking at his lifts, like this is nuts. Like seeing someone um, move these kind of weights, it's nuts and it's not. Like I expect this because we've been building to it, but just seeing if you just like look at it on paper, like someone with Russ's stats hitting these numbers is actually disgusting. um, but that's what happens, man, when you stay healthy and you can train. So he blows up his opener. I think what did we jump to? 700. Yeah, 700 or 699, whatever. Very, very easy. I saw that and I said I remember the message. I said it's going to be between 717 and 722. I was eyeing 728, but I was like, you know what? Let's take one at a time. We'll take the 722. Let's blow it up, and just keep stacking the chips. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's mock meat. We want to get it. We want to get it as high as possible. Run the numbers up. Um, Obviously, you don't want to miss. Like I said, we're taking it super serious. As you can see, there's people with their hands up. Judges telling the head ref when it's okay. I was very, very, very proud of this. 722 blew it up. He could argue he could have fought another 5 kg, but like I said, this is great. 728 I think was there for sure. I'm very proud of this depth. Honestly, I'm super proud of this depth. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to try to pause it when it gets to the bottom. But if you look at the hip crease on the left side, I remember looking at this on video saying your belt completely is gone. Your belt is completely submerged. And what you guys got to understand is like it was a while before we actually got depth this locked down. I remember him coming to Zoo and me telling him, I want you to angle your feet out slightly. I want, you know what I mean, and just kind of describing to him what I wanted him to do in order to get a little bit deeper without having to think about it. Just you're gonna breathe in. I like to think you breathe in, you brace hard, you break at the hips and knees together, and you kind of take that weight into the hole, and then if you're nice and tight, your body's gonna coil up super tight, and you're gonna fire up. Um, and apparently Russ is in the chat. What up? What up? What up? Um, but yeah, so you take the weight into the hole, and then you're gonna fire up, and it literally, I don't know if he felt this way, but for me, like when I hit my 750, I remember once you take it into the hole, it's easy at that point. Once you stay tight, if you could go through all the steps to brace hard and bring that weight down into the hole, it's gonna kind of, the bar's gonna bend. You're gonna get a stretch reflex, and it actually, it's not even that hard, to be honest. Like you've already done all the hard work, and it becomes automatic. That's the thing, repetition. If you're doing every rep correctly, people say, why is it important to go 9 for 9? You want to prime your body to be able to hit that big third attempt, right? It's not just like, oh, save a bunch of energy, jump to the weight or whatever. You're literally preparing your body to get to where you want to go. You know what I mean? And like I said, this is 3.5 years of work and just perfecting and refining and not overthinking and communicating and just like all the little things here and there adding up to present to you something that is very, very special. Yeah, I mean, it's years in the making. It's literally years in the making. I don't have much to say about his squat because, like I said, we've been working on this for 3 years. So everything is where I wanted it to be. There was very, very minimal spacing difference of his footing. It could have been this is from the videos that Martha was sending me. It could have been from the angle, but like the angle of his toes, like I said, the belt is completely submerged into the thighs. You can't even see his belt anymore, right? That's sort of a good landmark to see how deep he was. This isn't even the SBD belt. This is the it looks like an Inzer, but I think it's their special brand of belt. So that just goes to show that it can handle 722 pounds. Very like I don't have. I'm probably not going to talk about his technique aside from pointing out good things because, like I said, we've spent all this time refining it, and this is the culmination of all that, feedback just adding up to sort of a pinnacle performance, um, which is what you guys are seeing here. If the video is like lagging a little bit, I don't understand. I increased the quality because I don't know, it was like 320 3, what was it? Yeah, I bumped up to 720 because it was freaking 360 earlier and I couldn't see anything. Anyway, his bench came up a lot during this. We've been benching 4 times a week. I'm sure that and not cutting played a role, but I mean, honestly, he kind of exceeded my expectations a little bit. He peaked amazingly, so I'm very confident that and usually when you cut in a meet, by the time you get to bench, the cut is a non-factor because you've already gained your weight back and you're rehydrated and everything. So 413 took that nice and easy. 429 next, and when I talked to him about his goals, he was very realistic. Like I said, we're on the same page. He wasn't like, oh man, I want to hit 4 million. He was like, I'll be happy with anything close to 440. So 429 there. Now, okay, on this one, hold on, I'm gonna pause it real quick because I want to talk to you guys. I told him on video, or sorry, in the messenger, I think I said 440 you could fight, but 435 is there. But he had mentioned that he feels like he could have stayed tighter. Okay, bench is one of those things. This is really, really like crucial here. On bench press, it's hard to do this, but you need to like activate every single muscle in your body. If you think about it, bench is the only lift where there is a foreign object that you're interacting with, right? Your whole body's laying down on a bench. It's not just you in the bar like squat or deadlift, right? So on the second attempt, you can kind of just like, I'm trying to describe it to you guys. You kind of just like lay down on bench and like you unrack it and it feels heavy and you're kind of like squeezing your arms, right? And then you come down and you blow it up and then, it feels heavy. But if you take that bar out and you squeeze every muscle in your body, you squeeze your core, you squeeze your glutes, everything, like you're just bracing everything, you can make that super heavy weight like almost, you don't even feel it at that point, right? So when you focus on your setup, you just stay super, super tight. You can exert more force, right? And we're going to see that here. He literally made his 440 move identical to his 429. Like honestly, dude, hold on, let me go back. It's almost like we could have he probably had another 5 kg on top of that. I think 452 might have been there. If he can replicate that technique, I would not be surprised if 452 was there based on that. Hell, if he would have blown this up, maybe I would have said 446. But I mean, like I said, you always got to go based on what you have. He literally added 5 kg to the press, and it literally moved the same. So that's the difference that having a better setup can be. I thought the pause was fine. I mean, I didn't think it was like super quick or anything. The bar came to a complete stop, which is what you look for. In my opinion, if you have a solid judge, and the bar comes to a complete stop, literally no motion, it just for a second, dead, then you get the press command, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be one Mississippi. It's just, okay, is all the momentum killed? Is the bar completely rested on the chest? Boom, then you get a start command. Coming into deadlift, I told him, I remember telling him, hey, I'm pretty sure you can hit, I had 744, and he was like, damn, you think I could do that? And yes, of course, I wouldn't say it. And I know he was accounting for I'm gonna be a little bit rusty, I'm gonna be a little tired, or it's gonna be the end of the day, I'm gonna be beat up. But they did a really good job at this at the event, like timing it like a meet. Like I think I only needed to be in my computer for 2.5 to 3 hours, which is exactly what you want if you do the Arnold, if you do Worlds. It's like, boom, you hit squats. Okay, now you need to go warm up for bench. As soon as you're done with that, then it's time to bench. So they did a really good job with that. And the reason why that's so important is because you need to stay alert. You need to stay aroused. You need to be ready to perform. And it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever done those meets. I've only ever done this in USPA. That's not a jab at them. I'm just saying I've done USPA meets where you literally squat in the morning and you lift at night. You deadlift at night, and it's just so hard to be like awake all day and ready to push. So they did a good job of keeping all the attempts kind of closer together, so that way that burst of energy, it's almost like a football game. You know what I mean? Like any longer than 3 hours, and you start to deteriorate a little bit. Now a point for Russ coming in was just grip. Like his conventional, it's very straightforward. He has like very 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 minimal weaknesses um, in his physique. Like he's not gonna his back will round very, very slightly, only on a third attempt. But I mean, obviously it's a heavy third attempt, but like he's very built everywhere, so we don't have to worry about like, oh, you need to remember to stay extra tight because like you're very weak in this area, and you're gonna be compromised when you get to certain loads or whatever. He's that's not gonna happen till like you'll see on the third attempt. He actually maintains his core, his pressure, and his integrity like very very well as he's like fighting through that third attempt. So he absolutely annihilated that and stuck with the plan. I believe it's where is it 7? What is this 7? I think it's 716. Yeah, 716. Um, and grip was the main thing. It's just really the top hand. It's usually the underhand, but this time it was the top hand. Just make sure that bar is dug in deep. I say hold the bar down with your knuckles, if that makes sense. Um, that was a joke. That was the fastest 716 I've ever seen a pull in my life. 744 third attempt here. So I saw his 716 and I think I was juggling. I was looking at Cameron's lifts. I was looking at a bunch of lifts, and I remember he was like, "I'm feeling good. I'm going 744," and I was like, I thought there was a different opener, and there was like a very minor miscommunication, but he solved it like really quickly, and I was like, "Oh, 744, go, load it up." And I had it typed out. I was like, just so you know, I was gonna tell him, just so you know, 738 is 1900. So if you have any doubt at all, if there's like just a millimeter of doubt, I am totally okay with you just pulling it down 6 pounds, taking the 1900 and calling it right. Um, but he was already so confident when he put it in, and I didn't want to mess with his energy, and I was like, you know what, let's just do it. 744, right? Give it all you got. We're here now, and to be honest, the 716 justifies it. Um, Russ was like, Duhan cut the video. You talking about grip on the 744, which I'll talk about in a minute. But this is the 716. I totally think he could jump 30 pounds based on that. It got tough here. Like I said, the heavy maximal attempt is where everything is gonna come out. Shout out to Duhan trying to cover for his boy, but we gotta be on. I think I gotta say it. I gotta say it here. So if you look at everything here, his hand is in the right spot. The bar's in the right spot. Um, he braces right. He braces his entire back. You kind of see him lock his shoulder blades down, and then he begins to push and up, 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 up. Okay, he's got good speed. He gets to the knees. This is usually where, I mean, you're just fighting physics, right? You're fighting angles, right? You need to overcome this angle both on your thighs and your torso, right? Um, so he's fighting through, and then he comes to lockout. Now, if you think, okay, here, I'll just let it play. They cut to him, and I said, Martha sent it to me, and I was watching on lifting cast, and I saw the lights turn green, so I'm like, oh, he must have got it, but I hadn't seen the video yet. Now, if you see it here, that bar is fucking bending like a motherfucker, which is gonna pull the. It's literally trying to pry your hand open. I don't know if he was super focused on this hand, since this is usually the culprit, or what. I mean, it's just a mental thing. It's not. I highly doubt it's a strength thing. But that hand started to bust open. Like I said, it's super heavy weight. It's probably his first time. It is the first time, obviously, he's done this much lifting in one day. And he locks out here, everything's straight. And then, I mean, I've seen judges Literally, as soon as the shoulders cock back, they put their arm down. They slam their arm down. They're literally like waiting to bail you out. Um, and I had made the comment. I had made the comment that it looked close, right? It looked like you, it looked like the bar was starting to slip, and you put it down. If you're at Worlds or something, well, first off, if you're at Worlds and we have a competition, I'm gonna pull the lowest amount of weight possible to get us the dub. So I don't know what it's gonna be, right? It's probably not gonna be. It probably doesn't need to be 744. It fucking we might have won on our second attempt like we did at Worlds, right? Second attempt was good enough. We got the dub. We didn't need to, you know, continue more after that. Um, I have a visitor that wants attention. So it's cool. Like cool. We got something to keep us honest, something to work on. If not for that little tiny thing on grip, it would have been a damn near perfect meet. I mean, it was pretty fucking phenomenal. I think we exceeded expectations as far as just how incredible he came in and everything. And like I said, guys, this is 3.5 years in the making. Um, we're on the same page. It's just little tweaks here and there. We will fix that. Like I said, it's just a mental thing. You just got to make sure to consciously squeeze that weight. Um, it might be a strength thing. I don't know. I mean, it's very simple to fix, but yeah, we'll make it right. It's going to keep us honest. You know, we can always get better. We could definitely improve from this. Like I said, I believe he had more on the bench for sure. I would not be surprised if he had 452, 446, 100% is there. On squat, I think he had 2.5 to 5 kg for sure. Um, which is great. I mean, if you want, you could like next meet we could just go for the same numbers, and then just the extra that he had and the strength that he gains. Just assume the cut is gonna kind of even that out, right? Um, he did tell me the next day he woke up at 191. Obviously, probably went out in 8, right? The homies were there, just chilling and whatnot. Um, and shit, guys, what more can I say? Like, yeah, Russ said on his IG there's a better view of his deadlift, but hey, Russ, I know you've heard this a million times, but I'm really proud of you. Um, like I said, this is years in the making. This is okay. This is a testament to hard work, dedication, having the right structure, having the right guidance, the extra little sessions that you put in the gym and the bodybuilding that you're doing after, just to help like. Okay, let me put Chloe down real quick. Let me go talk to deadlift. Let me talk about deadlift real quick because that was the only lift that was like kind of hard, right? Um, when you get to this point, when you get to this point in the lift, this is where that extra bodybuilding comes in. Right there, right here, okay? Because you're gonna hit a wall, and if your back is not strong enough, if your core is not strong enough, if your grip is not strong enough, right? Obviously, if your glutes aren't strong enough, you ain't locking this out, right? If any of those little things, are compromised or cannot handle this, you're gonna drop it right here. How many times have you guys seen people get to this point and they just like it just flies out of their hand, or they just like put it down, or they feel that struggle and then they just drop it, right? And I'll be like, yo, like you didn't even fight it. He kept pushing. His body was able to maintain its composure as he pushed it through. I mean, I still think he held it like for a decent amount of time. Like I said, it's a mock meet. If we're in a meet, I'm probably gonna do 733, 738, whatever. But it helps, man. All the little extra work. I have very very brief notes here. There wasn't really much to like critique because, like I said, this was years in the making. Hold on, let me do this. Um, what are the takeaways, right? What can you guys learn from this? If you guys have seen, if you guys literally want to, you could go back. You could literally go back like years and look at all the coaches' corners that we've done, all of the meets that we've done, all of the little things that I've said to him. You're seeing the entire process. You could look at his channel as reference. You can literally see it's all documented where we started and where we ended up, the things that changed, how his depth improved, how much stronger he's just gotten overall. Bench is always a lift where he's just kind of like, fuck, man, his bench. It's like going to be that stubborn lift. And now it's starting to show some progress and gain some ground. You know what I mean? It's always kind of like inched up there, you know, but it takes time. It takes time to get these things, and you guys just got to be patient, right? Russ's total at nationals, I believe, the first nationals was like 17 something, right? Very like low 17s. Um, this was a 1906 day. Um, you see what I'm saying? So even people that are let's be honest here. Russ is above average, right? Out the gate, he's gonna beat most people. But that doesn't mean like that's it. You can continue to push. You can keep going. You know, my brother said, "What about 2000 one day?" And I'm like, "Hey man, that's a fucking number." But I'll never say never. I always believe that we can continue to improve, um, and just be what we did. And it's just little refinements here and there, um, and just keep it going, man. It's nuts. Like I said, I look at this and I'm like, yes, I expect these things, but I'm still like in awe that he's doing it. And that's a huge inspiration for you guys. I hope that anyone watching this can go through that same process. You can work hard over the years and end up somewhere special relative to where you're at, right? I told him, thank you for being a role model. Thank you for showing, literally making waves, showing this next young generation of lifter like what can be possible if you work hard, if you handle your nutrition, if you focus on yourself and just you know worry about you and do the things that you have to do to get the job done. You can do something special too. You can have performances like this where your technique is on point, and you're just blowing everything out of the water. So um, yeah, I hope you guys found that remotely entertaining or were able to take something away from it. If anything, it's inspirational, right? 1906 is absurd. I'm just waiting for the world to open up so we can do this officially, in front of official judges and with stakes on the line and things like that. Um, you know, Sheffield would have changed the game. You know what I mean? There would have been there's so many opportunities we missed, but he's still working. He's not just because the world is locked down doesn't mean let me chill out, let me take time off, whatever. This man doesn't stop. He does not stop because like I said, it's you keep stacking chips over time, um, and you end up with something special. So yeah, guys, if you're able to take something away from this, drop a like. Can I get a hashtag get better today? Make sure you guys show Russ some love. And I am excited to see his growth. I'm excited to see what he does with corrupted strength in the future. I can't wait for the world to open up. I'm gonna do something nuts when the world opens up. Um, but yeah, guys, stay safe out there. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.